1, 2, 3. Hi. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Be Uplifted. Pew. Pew, 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 pew.
So did you hear he's making sound effects now?
Different ones? That.
Apparently.
I love it. I love that.
I'm surprised you didn't go, I'm a potato.
Mm-hmm.
I have that sample. You can.
That's funny. Okay, so it's been a fucking crazy ass couple weeks.
Yeah, welcome back again.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Did you miss me? No. Okay, cool.
Yes,
Okay.
I did.
I'm at the audience, but thanks.
I didn't even know you were gone.
Ew.
Damn, my life I got too dark for you now, or what?
Sit on this side.
So yeah, I don't know if you guys saw what on my post and my personal stuff, but I got fucked over.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about businesses and stupid shit that people be pulling. So tell us a little bit about what happened and what sparked this conversation that we were having.
So, long story short.
No, we got to drag this out for an hour.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I had to take my brand new car over to a dealership, and during the time that the dealership had my vehicle, I had bunch of stolen items taken out, and their argument is saying that they have a bunch of random people lurking the lots of this facility, and I've shown on my app on my phone that the car has been unlocked the whole entire time that it was there,
With the door open.
with the door partly open. Yes.
Well, yeah, to summarize it, basically, and make it clear, give it context a little bit.
Sorry. Okay.
So you got your car, you sent it to the dealer,
Yes.
right? And then you found out that, or through your app on your phone, it tells you that your car's unlocked or whatever.
Yeah.
So you called the dealership, say, hey, my car's unlocked. Can you please lock it? Whatever. Then you get the car back, and there's missing shit.
Yes.
So you left a review. Don't forget that part.
yeah.
You
Okay,
left a review
yes.
on Facebook, whichever.
Facebook, Yelp, Google, all this shit.
So you left a review, and as with anybody, you'd say, I got money missing, I got jewelry or whatever is missing. You're gonna think, hey, Fabergé egg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the chocolate one, but the real one.
Yeah.
You'd instantly suspect staff to do it.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Because the lot should be secured.
At the end of the
You
day,
would
let's
think.
bold that the lot should be secured.
secured.
Okay.
And
Yes.
all your items within the compound of a gated premises should be
Secured.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Thank
they're
you.
also there all the time. Like if my baggage goes missing, I instantly think that it was probably somebody that works at the airport
Yes.
because they have the access to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
With that context, my first curiosity is after you notified them that your car appears to have been unlocked or that the door is ajar or open slightly, did they take any action after that?
Supposedly, the service advisor did go and lock it.
But did your app say it was locked?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So another important point, long story short, is she has receipts for everything that she's talking about. So she had screenshots of the app showing her door was unlocked. She had screenshots of the phone calls that were made to make sure that the door was locked. So everything she's saying was not just hearsay. There was actual evidence backing it up.
Right. And then the items that I did tell them that were missing, I did acknowledge that, yes, it can be replaced. But the fact that, I found more shit missing and I didn't report that. I just reported the things that in the middle console. If you're working on something that's inside, like in the engine, why be missing inside compartments that need to not be?
And what did the dealership do?
So emailed them over everything, and now they're asking me to basically take down my review.
So part of the story too is, just so that you guys are understanding, they did agree to compensate her for the things that were missing. However, their request in order to compensate those things was for her to take down her review. And I think we're all in agreement where it's like, whether she gets the check or not, the fucking place was supposed to be secure. So that really has nothing to do with the
Even if that video that somebody broke in, which he says there are people on the lot consistently every night Well, that's not your problem. That's not my problem.
And my thing is if you know that, why not secure your lot extra?
Yeah, and the manager specifically said that I'm not the first person that has happened to, and you know, instead of taking a claim like how the D or the fucking district whatever the fuck he is, I'm just gonna go ahead and compensate you for the check instead. But the reason, okay, like I said, when I made that review, I waited hours. It wasn't like, oh, I just wrote it right away. I waited a couple hours in order for him to give me a call back and never called me back. That was another thing. So I'm like, damn, I feel like I'm like a fucking Karen for posting this shit. But I feel like people need to be aware of that kind of situation, you know? And then it's a lot of a mess, you know? And I'm waiting now. So the end result now is I'm waiting for them to go ahead and send me the check over, and then we can go ahead and I'll decide whether if I want to take it down or not. But the way he came about it was really unprofessional.
Well,
too.
I think the reason that it was a problem too was he said, like, you know, you're accusing and insinuating in these reviews that it was my staff that stole stuff. She then returned and said, I'm sorry. She apologized on her accord too. She said, I'm sorry that I insinuated it was the staff.
And I updated the review.
And she updated the review.
So, yeah.
But at the end of the day, why would she take back the fact that her car was not secure on that lot? Like, I think you're very justified in keeping that review, and he's telling her to take it down.
Yeah. And I want to ask this like on a general thing too. Like, because you guys all own or have a business of your own, like, have you even heard of anybody like asking to take a review down? So that's wild to me.
I mean, no one has ever asked me, but I've known people have been, you know, businesses that have asked people to take their reviews down.
So I would give, so I'm going to speak on both sides. I would give the business the opportunity to fix it before it becomes a bigger problem. Now, if there's just negligence on their point and they're not going to acknowledge things that I'm saying, then I will warn other people that this is a precaution that you should take when going to this establishment, you know? So, for example, if I go to a restaurant and I think that it's undercooked, I'm not just going to be like, oh, I have such a good opportunity to get clickbait or write something bad or get compensation. I'm going to tell them that, hey, I think that this is undercooked, or this is not what I ordered, or I expected something else, you know, and I'll give them that opportunity to fix it, or at least tell me why it's like that, you know. Maybe I don't understand their culture and that's just how they prepare food, maybe so on and so forth.
Right.
Oh, crap. But again, I give them that opportunity. Now, if they're just ignoring me the whole time, if I know that they're seeing my messages and they're just not saying anything, then yeah, it's kind of justified that I'm going to take a hit on this. And just because I see the ramifications of them voicing their opinions, I would want them, ultimately, I would want them to take that review down. But I would understand if they don't, because that's my bad. I'm the one that messed up. Kind of got to be accountable for that.
Yeah, and he kept on telling me too, like, from a business standpoint, you can only imagine how this looks like. And I felt like I didn't need to explain, like, okay, I'm a business owner too. I completely understand.
But
and
they should have thought of that before they lagged on taking action.
Yeah. And I've also had the comments too that were like, well, why would you leave that kind of stuff in there? Well, I didn't expect my car to be there for 3 weeks to change a damn battery.
Oh, that's another important factor in this is it's not like it was like a car accident where like a whole body needed to be changed on her car. It was like something with the battery, and the first initial problem was how long it was going to take before anything else.
Yeah. And I that's something I didn't even get upset about, because I'm like, okay, you know, I understand since COVID, it takes a long time to get parts or whatever. And I wasn't even arguing about that. I was not arguing or upset about the service of the service advisor that I initially worked with, because he provided me a loaner. And I even put that in my review. I said, but it's still unacceptable that my vehicle was under your staff's surveillance, that you did not do your part. Like, you did not.
Was the because they ended up sending her a screenshot that showed some random blob of a person walking away from what supposedly was behind a car that was supposed to be in front of her car. So basically, you couldn't even see her car in this screenshot. And the manager or whoever the guy was said like, "Oh, this is all we have is this person walking away from your vehicle. So this is probably who took the shit, right?" But my question is, that screenshot, was it after you guys called to say So that makes it even worse, right?
Yeah.
Like they were already notified that her car was unlocked and not secured. And so if they're using the excuse of, that means you still didn't do your job. You still didn't do your job in securing the car. So it is still your fault at the end of the day.
Yeah.
They have to take accountability.
Is he a new manager?
I wouldn't know.
Probably. I mean, like,
You became a manager.
bad reviews happen, right? Nobody. Most reviews are reviews of passion,
Right.
and that's why most reviews you see are bad, because people are passionate about their bad experience. Nobody's ever passionate about their good experience, nor do they want to write paragraphs worthy of it.
You know what's interesting though too, because I was like looking at it, right, and I've written reviews for other businesses too, but I've maybe written like 5 reviews, and out of those 5 reviews, only 1 or 2 were bad, and the rest were really good reviews.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm like, okay, if you really look at me as a person, if they really wanted to go in depth into that, like, I'm not a bad person to be like, why the fuck would you?
Yeah, but it's not really about you. I mean, look at any good, like your favorite restaurant. You look at the reviews. Most of it's gonna be bad when people are commenting, because people want to comment when they're like heated up.
Yeah.
Right? No, you could have 1,000 bad reviews, but the 10,000 people that came there, only 1,000. It's only 1% of the reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only one that I know that tries to give good reviews all the time.
Yeah,
and
it just,
ridiculous ones.
That's why if I saw it, I'd been like, well, whatever. I mean, read the other reviews. The other reviews probably reflect the same thing. So.
Exactly. Exactly.
Why are you so caught up on my review when you have other worse ones?
Because he could be, as I said, he could be a new manager. So he's under a microscope. He thinks that that's going to inherently make him look bad because the business looks bad. So he's going to protect it. But he protects it in a way where it's useless.
Yeah. Yeah. So in your guys' own businesses, I want to make it like general too, right? Has anyone written a bad review about you guys, or have not written, but at least have told you, or any shape or form of criticism, I guess?
Disabled. I don't have reviews. They're disabled.
In my personal business, I haven't had, but in my family business, like with the elderly, we've had definitely some complaints of some things that they don't agree the way that my mom like runs things. So I've definitely heard negative reviews. But at the end of the day, like, even though it sucks, even though we don't agree with it, if the customer feels that we're doing something wrong, in my experience, like, I even have to argue with my mom about this, because she's similar to the guy, right? Like, don't fucking say shit that, like, this is my fucking business, you know? And I'm like, well, that's their opinion. Like, if that's how they feel, that's how they feel, and there's no changing it. So that's why I'm like, I think it's kind of ridiculous. I understand that other companies have done this as well, asked for reviews to be taken down. But if you ask me if it's right or wrong, I don't think it's right. Like, I think you're allowed to have your opinion, and it's allowed to be voiced, and it's up to the people reading it if they want to listen to it or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could respond on what, Yelp. You can add a response.
That's what I was going to say too. Like, he could easily respond on your review and be like, because I've seen that as well. Like, I was just looking at restaurants recently for Ackroyd's birthday, right? And I was like reviewing reviews and stuff like that. And there was one particular restaurant that was really good about that. That was like, I'm so sorry that was your experience. We have a complimentary something for you. Or, hey, I'm sorry that you felt this way. We'll try to work on that.
Yeah.
So he could have easily done that. Instead of coming and attacking you, he could have made himself look better by addressing it publicly, you know?
And then you save a customer, and then you probably gain more customers because see how they interact with problem solving.
Exactly.
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, I want to say a bad review, but I have someone who's told me like, hey, this could have been better, whatever. And I feel like I took it more as like a learning experience to just make sure that it doesn't happen again on my end, you know, and make sure that at the end of the day, like, they're the ones who are paying you. So you need to make sure that you at least satisfy them to a certain extent.
And not only a learning experience for you, but for his employees, right? Like, this is a time to brief his employees and be like, hey, you know, this car was under our supervision. We need to really make sure that regardless if there's freaking hobos walking around here, that this lot is secure. Make sure to check all the cars. Like, that's what he should have responded, in my opinion, was, hey, I'll be sure to brief my employees to make sure that cars are locked, and I hope this doesn't happen to you again. So that he's at least empathizing with your experience instead of like accusing you of like, hey, you're accusing my employees. This is not right. You know, like, I don't think that was fair at all.
Well, I have a question that's somewhat related. Is you guys have all worked for other companies too, like, so have you ever got criticism or critique or a review where you actually agree with the customer, but because of company policy, you kind of got to defend yourselves?
No, I personally I haven't.
I mean, what company policy would have?
I think I kind of have an example of that. Like when I worked at the hospital, we would have to ask for certain information because that was policy. And I have a few patients that would get really defensive. Like, that's my personal business. Like, why are you asking me that? And they would take the anger out on me, you know? I had one lady, because I had to ask for her demographic and blah, blah, blah. She got up and was like, do you want to know my fucking panty size too? Like, got really angry. She ended up throwing her copay on me and being like, here, take the fucking money, you fucking nosy bitch. Like, you know, she like got really angry. But I understood where she was coming from. Is that kind of what you're talking about?
And that kind of sucks. Like, how do you deal with that? Because I've worked with a company a long time ago where before there was the whole, what is it called when you can, the grace period where you can return an item or buyer's remorse thing. So a long time ago, back in the 1900s when I had a job there, we didn't have those policies. So somebody would get something and then will say, hey, I'd like to return this. I already have this. It's like, I'm sorry, there's a restocking fee or something like that. It's like, well, I got this as a gift and I already own it. So can I just exchange it or something? And it's like, I'm sorry, if you're going to use, you either have to pay this restocking fee or you get this amount back in credit. So yeah, I've had those instances too. It sucks.
It does suck.
Yeah, I think to answer the question is that's how you deal with it, right? You have to really kind of just dig into the fact of like, this is not me. I'm so sorry. This is company policy and procedure, et cetera, et cetera. Some people accept that excuse. Some people don't, you know?
Yeah,
So.
I mean, at my job, I've had, at one point, some guy was like, oh, you don't offer military discount? And I was like, no. And I'm like, and he's like, man, yeah, you guys don't even appreciate the military for all we do. You know what I did? I just pulled out my wallet, pulled out my ID card, and I threw it at him. I go, we're on the same boat, bro. There's nothing I can do about it. There's
What
nothing
did
I
he
can
do
about it.
after that?
He's like, oh, man, I get it. He was like, it's store policy.
Yeah.
It's like, there's nothing I can do about it. Look at me. Look. We both have the same ID. Right? There's nothing you could do. You can't let that shit eat away at you. There's always going to be company policies that you don't necessarily agree with. But hey, guess what? It's not your business.
Yeah.
If you want to institute your own policies, go open up your own store.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, one of the things that I appreciate about that and like certain customer service aspects, and I try to imply this too, is I try to be the last resort or the last line of defense or the final stop. So if somebody asks me something, even if it's like, I work for a company that has a lot of departments. I've had people call in and they ask for one particular product where I'm an expert in something else. I'll try to still help them out because I don't like pushing problems onto somebody else. Same thing with what Rich did. You know, he disarmed the situation where he's like, look, we're in the same boat.
Yeah.
You know, he could have escalated it and washed his hands of it and just been like, well, it's my manager's problem now. But, you know, like I do give credit to people that try to take initiative and be the final answer, you know?
That's true.
Yeah.
Do you gentlemen have any crazy stories of like memorable negative experience with a company like Lonnie went through?
I mean, I don't know. People, from a general manager's point of view, I've read a whole bunch of reviews that are just like flat out lying. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just like, when did this even happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's also like, yeah, at some point, but I don't ever ask them for them to take it down. I don't care. I don't look. It ain't my company. I'm not there long enough, nor do I care enough to actually worry about reviews. That's well above my pay grade. You worry about it.
What about as a consumer? Have you had any bad, memorable experiences of like someone like you being in Lonnie's shoes where you were just like, man, I can't believe this fucking company runs this way?
Oh, I don't know. I got to think about that.
While you think about it, this just popped into my head. I used to work a long time ago, first job ever, at a Korean barbecue spot, and someone wrote a review about me because I wouldn't let them inside. I was a hostess at the time. I wouldn't let them inside, and it was during summer, and it was really hot, and the store policy was they didn't allow people to stand in front of the door. And they wrote a fucking review about me saying, "Oh, this fat bitch didn't let me in," and blah blah. I just started laughing.
This was that flag.
No flag.
Yeah.
I'm lost.
Nothing.
Okay. Anyways.
I'm gonna look up
If
flag.
if you speak Korean, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh no, but anyways, yeah. So
The name is a flag. It says the actual name of the Korean flag.
it's not here anymore.
The what?
The place that we're talking about.
No, that you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Isn't it?
the name of the place is what the Korean. Okay,
Yeah,
got
I
it.
think so. I think we're on the same place.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just know that because you posted a memory.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That one. Yeah.
Your first
I
hosting
too
job,
know
right?
what's
Yeah,
going on.
Okay, yeah, we're on the same
Yeah,
spot.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, so they wrote a review about me, and then even my managers came up like, "Oh, like," and at that time, like, we had walkie-talkies in our ear.
Yeah.
And he was like yelling at me to tell them to get out. And they're like upset, and I'm like, "I'm sorry, like, I don't know, I can't. I would love for you guys to wait inside under the AC like I would, fucking standing outside by myself, fucking getting you guys ready for a damn table. But like, store policy, I can't do anything about it."
Yeah.
But instead they wrote a fucking badass review about me.
They didn't even give you the reason for it. That's bad management. You can't
Well-
stand in front of the entrance because it's a
Well,
fire
he said,
hazard.
yes, that's exactly what I told them. I was like, because it's a fire hazard. I'm like, "Oh, but we're over here on the side. We're not right in front." And I'm like, I'm sorry, my manager's still not letting people wait in this area.
I would say, hey, this motherfucker yelling in my ear. Like, I can't help you. Look, here, you listen to him.
Yeah. Well, I was like fucking 18 at that time.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know anything.
Not as assertive. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
sometimes it's bad management too. I'd fucking be yelling
Yeah.
at your manager.
Oh, I
What
was
the
pissed. Yeah. I was pissed. I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? So
That's crazy.
I've been on both ends, and I understand both ends.
That's crazy though. They're like,
This fat bitch didn't let me. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Do you have any memorable bad consumer experiences?
So as the consumer, not
Yeah.
really. I think that I'm pretty easygoing. Even if people take advantage of me, I'm like, oh, I guess that happened.
yeah.
What about as the business, like, okay, like in here or, another job, like, have you ever had like a salty customer or a bad experience?
I mean, here I've had somebody that they flaked on a booking and I kept their deposit, and they're like, I didn't even show up. I was like, yeah, and neither did any of the ones that I could have booked instead of you. So that's why I'm keeping your money. And that's why I'm following the no refund on the deposit when you do a no-show, or if it's within 24 hours of the booking.
That's happened to me too, and like our DJ stuff. And I just slapped the fucking contract.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're the one who canceled your wedding, not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid.
It's always important to have that contract.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so keep receipts. Like what Lonnie did, she has all of the things. Going back to the situation that we're talking about, she has ways that she can prove all of that. So that's
Yeah, try me, ho. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
working in customer service, I've come to realize how important all of those receipts and those proofs of purchase and
Just documentation.
yeah,
period.
documentation. I mean, like, it doesn't take up that much space on the cloud,
Right.
to be honest with you.
I went through a domestic violence case, and I'm just kidding. To learn, you need all that shit.
Honestly, if you're watching this and you're like younger or you are not experienced, that's something that I was taught really, really young, but I didn't actually understand it until I got older. Was write everything down, notate everything, receipts, because there's going to be that one time where you need that fucking proof and you're not going to have it, and you're going to be like, fuck, I should have had that shit written down.
Yeah. You know what sucks is like,
I'm laughing
speaking
at
of like keeping everything. So I didn't really realize that my last job, because I've never really done an interview or gone through a real hiring process. Honestly, a lot of the jobs that I've had, I've been recommended or I've been scouted. So it's like I never took anything seriously.
Yeah.
Well, the most recent job that I have, I got because of my homeboy. Like when they put references, I was like, or they said, why do you feel like you should be good at this position? I put ask TJ, don't worry about it. Right? Because I thought of it as a joke. Because I just thought that they needed the formality so that I can get an actual paycheck. And so I told him, and I was like, hey, bro, just letting you know, I put this. Or first I asked him, does anybody read this? He's all like, I mean, we might, but whatever. I was like, oh, okay, cool. He's all, oh, yeah, but we sent it to the payroll. I was like, oh, crap. He's all, why? What'd you do? I said, well, I put that I'm self-employed, and the reason for me leaving the last job is sexual harassment.
Wow.
He's all like, you're an idiot. I was like, okay, well. And now I kind of regret it because I'm like, oh, man, that's a permanent document. Like,
That's
probably
funny.
shouldn't have put that.
You want
Sexually assaulted you at your
Myself.
own time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You're like, fuck, I touched my own dick.
Yeah.
So at one of the jobs that I worked at, it was kind of related, but not. I just thought of the story right now, though, is I was a recruiter for a company, right? And I would host these big hiring events, you know, and I would be almost like the motivational speaker that would tell them why they should work for this company, right? And
Oh my God, I would love to hear your pitch one day.
No, okay, that was the problem, right? So because I'm a good speaker and I'm like really like uplifting or whatever, you know, I would host these like a lot of them would be at Qualcomm before it turned into Snapdragon, right? So I would host these events at Qualcomm and we would have like 30 people show up and I would like blow up the spot on these jobs, right? Mind you, this is a fucking parking company, okay? And the jobs that I was hiring were the parking attendants to be working at like Hyatt, like all these fancy like hotels. But your job itself is like not that great, right? You're literally just like the parking attendant, you know? But people didn't realize that because of how well I sold the job. So that was always the complaint for me when it came. They were like, dude, oh my God, I love your fucking, your hiring process. Like they would always be like, dude, I'm so excited to work for this company. She's fucking so motivating, blah, blah, blah. So I would always have like tons of people apply for the job and get hired. But the complaint at the end all the time was, that's my fucking job. Just fucking taking the ticket. Like, so I almost sold the job too well. So my complaints was always like, it was false advertising. That was always my complaint, was that like, dude, she fucking motivated me. Like I wanted to fucking work there for life. And then I realized like I'm just standing in a booth by myself taking
I feel like I
tickets.
should make you do my Hinge profile or something.
like nobody ever reads like the description, parking lot attendant.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
And then I knew how to sell like, oh, you can climb up the ladder in the company, you know, and I would tell them like these like awesome stories about people that climbed up the ladder and told them the story of myself. And they were just like, oh, you'd see these eyes like wide open, like, oh my God, I can't wait to work for this company. And then you would just see them start falling off after they got hired because they were like, yeah,
She's like a live chat GPT.
Yeah, literally.
Get that bitch
I would
live.
be in the audience. I could be that big titty girl.
No, that's what was fucked up. And I knew that that was going to happen every time because I was so good at doing my fucking motivational speech at the beginning of these hiring things that they were all like excited. And at the end, and they'd be like emailing me like, Ari, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to have to quit my job. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I'm like, fuck. So the next step was like, okay, Ari, so you get a bunch of people, but how do we retain them? And I'm like, oh,
That's not my job.
that's not my job, you know? So that was always the complaint that I had.
Out of curiosity, what was your pitch?
It was really just like, I don't really know exactly what the pitch was, but the pitch was based on like being self-motivated and being able to grow. And like, you don't need to have like a degree. Like you can just, as long as you work hard, you know, and then like, they would just be there like wide-eyed and open.
It's
like,
easy.
yeah, you know,
Nothing.
it's easy, but it was very much like, okay, not to sound like cocky or anything, but my pitch sounded very life motivational speaking rather than job motivational speaking. So they were not just pumped about this job. They were pumped about life, you know? They were like, I'm gonna fucking be a successful motherfucker if I work here, you know?
Because I mean, like that could have like we also got to look at it on this end. Are you saying something that's not exactly like true?
No.
Because if you're sitting there just being like, I only let guys that work in this position cream pie me.
No.
Everybody else,
Everything I
no.
said was true, and everything I said was very like, again, more life based than company based. But it's not my fault that you thought I was talking about like, you know, you took it in that way. You know what I mean? And I wasn't doing it to be manipulative. There wasn't no like side agenda. It was just I just talked
just
the way that I just talked the way that I talked, and it excited them.
You added some sugar to the.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the greatest ticket handler at Qualcomm.
And I was honest about the job too. Is like, that's the thing. I'm like, okay, so, it might be mundane. Like, you're going to start at the bottom, but you can work. And they were just like, no, oh my God.
Wait, what were you wearing when you were saying this? Because there's some times that you say some really smart stuff, but then I'm not paying attention.
Okay, that might be part of it too, because I was dressed like however you picture like Ackright used to tell me that. He's like, dude, when you went to work, I loved how you dressed. He's like, I miss you dressing that way, because I was very business, like I was in corporate America, so I had like my pencil skirt and like my blazer, like
Didn't button all the way though.
And then the second I turned around and they saw me in my pencil skirt, it was, it was that. So that might be part of it.
So for the girls that don't got no butt.
So that was part of it for some of the guys. But
along those lines, did you hire more men or women?
no, it was actually both.
Oh,
a lot
really?
of the women were the ones that kept in touch with me, though, that were like, Ari, oh my God, I loved your speech. And they wanted to be like my best friend. Some of them tried following me on social media, and I'd have to tell them like, oh no, girl, like that's company like policy. Like we can't be friends like outside of here, but they wanted to be like my friend. Like,
So wait, who stayed more, guys or girls?
honestly, I'll
on
be
the
honest,
position.
it was the older people that needed a job. Those were the people that stayed, like old people that were like,
They knew how to suck it up.
yeah, they were like, fuck it, like I need this job no matter what.
Yeah. Interesting.
Or the guys that I hired for valet, because I did valet for all of the big hotels too, and they liked getting tips. So that was one of the jobs that stayed like a long time too.
Was part of your intro video a slow-mo of you running to the cars?
No, but once they heard that they were going to be driving Lambos and shit like that to put the cars in the lot, they were like, "Oh my God, we get to drive fancy cars." Some of those people are still there because they enjoy it so much,
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, you mean I could get paid to live other people's dreams? That's cool.
To sit in people's dreams.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
That's wild. Jeez.
Do you know how important you have to be to sit in somebody else's seat that costs this much?
Exactly.
Dang.
Have you guys written? So you said you have, right? You like to write positive reviews.
Oh yeah, let me see if I can find one without stopping the recording on this. I'll find one for you. Skip me.
Are you a review writer?
No.
Kuya? I don't take
see you, yeah.
as a review. You're like, I don't have time for that
I
shit.
don't have time for that shit.
If a business, okay, so I used to work customer service, like on the phone, dealing with people's like, damn, too big. Clip it, please. No, dealing with people's like pensions and insurance. So you can only imagine like what kind of phone calls I would get for that, right? And what was I going along with this? Oh, and then they'll ask at the end, like, oh, will you please take this 1-minute survey? It only is 2 questions, blah, 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 blah. So now when I'm on the phone with somebody with customer service and they they do their job really well, like I will take that survey because I know how much like it does mean for them inside the business.
I'm the same way. I'm big on like good reviews. Like even when we went out to eat yesterday, this lady was like, "My name is so and so. If you'd like to write me a review, that'd be great." So I like sat right then and there. I wrote her like a really good review.
You can read it.
Which one is this one?
This is
one?
yeah.
So this is a review that Vince wrote. So I got the membership during the pandemic
For
and
Soapy
never
Joe's.
and never got infected. Okay, this is for Soapy Joe's. This is Vince, okay? So I got the membership during the pandemic and never got infected with the virus. Additionally, since I've been going to this location, my credit score has gone up 37 points and I've been able to find my holographic Charizard card from 1999. Not sure how this is all related, but I can't ignore that it happened after starting my membership at Soapy Joe's. Thank you. And Soapy Joe then responded, "We're glad we could be your good luck charm," and then with a picture of a Charizard card.
That's cool. That's funny.
That's hilarious.
What kind of reviews have you written? Like, are they all your good ones? What places?
They're usually related to the person, not the business.
Yeah.
So most of it, I don't usually write, like when I think about it, I don't really write a lot of reviews in regards to like the business, but I like to write good reviews specific to people because I feel like people are not given credit enough in their jobs, to be honest. Like even when I do like phone calls, like if there's a customer service rep on the phone and they're like, "Oh, so my name is so-and-so," I'll be like, "Hey, you really did a good job in helping me today. Do you guys do like customer reviews?" And they're like, "Oh, you can email my manager." So I'll like write the email and be like, "This person specifically was really, really good at their job."
I do that. I do that for like the nail salons. That's mostly what my reviews
Yeah, I
are.
write long reviews too.
Yeah, it's
They're
fucking,
heartfelt.
that looked like I was looking at it from this angle. I was like, that shit's fucking like 4 or 5 paragraphs long.
I'm just going to read you a little bit of it. Let's just say I've been coming. This is for an auto repair place.
Cartoon.
Let's just say I've been coming here for a while now. This is the best place for idiots like me that don't work on their car themselves. I like to leave it to the pros. Back when I first started coming here, Justin was my go-to. He always gave me great advice, helped me with my suggestions to prolong the life of my car. T always made sure that my car was taken care of.
I don't even remember this review.
It's a serious review.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, wait, this is actually all really serious. Oh, edit. I'm here now and I have an amazing girlfriend. This further supports my theory.
Oh, here, read the paragraph before that.
Okay, so in conclusion, go to Cartoon for your automotive needs or your car will break down and your girlfriend will cheat on you. And then
then
it
the
was
edit.
edit. I am now here and have an amazing girlfriend. This further supports my theory. Wow.
Wow.
You should just be paid to write reviews. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So in conclusion,
Order
what can-
Mikey's meals with a promo code Babes10. Get up to 10% off. Ever since I've been going there, I felt more virile. I can make love with the same veracity as what you would expect Queer Rich to do. So,
But I don't use Mikey's meals.
but I feel like Rich now that I have that. See, I gotta take it at levels.
So, reeling it back in.
Yep.
What is the takeaway from this episode for our listeners? Like, what do you think they can learn from?
I don't think there's anything really. I mean,
Other than
there's not like a learning thing. I think it's just a conversation. Like I didn't really.
Oh, the reviews. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Write good reviews when necessary, write bad reviews when they're honest, and other times just suck it up because it is what it is, and company policy is not going to fucking change. So
Yeah, and-
that's the takeaway.
Go to Soapy Joe's if you can't find your charger card.
And don't don't care about reviews. They don't make a difference in anybody's lives. Trust me, nobody ever got a raise because they got a good review.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact.
No, I
I used to be a general manager that used to read all the reviews. I've never given anybody a raise because of a good review.
multiple good reviews.
But multiple good reviews, maybe not necessarily give you a raise, but they'll give you a higher position or
Yeah.
No.
give you more responsibility.
No, they
Yeah.
won't. You know why? Because they know that you're doing your job at your pay rate very well, and they won't change that.
Look, you guys are probably looking at it like from a different point of view, but I'm saying these are my metrics for doing a good job. You getting a good review just tells me you're doing
Your job, yeah.
bare minimum. Nothing about that says normally read a
Not if the good review says this person went above and beyond their
No,
job.
it doesn't matter.
There's no such thing as above and beyond in customer service.
There's
There's no such thing as what? You went above and beyond and went back to the kitchen to get my food?
Okay, so I'm looking at it from like when I worked at the hospital, right? My job was not to go back to grab meds or get the nurse or do this or do that, and I would always do those things. And other front desk people never did those things.
But the thing is, I couldn't pay you for that because it's not part of your job.
Yeah, but I can get a position that has more
It
responsibilities,
could.
which is more pay.
It could,
you know,
if it was open and you were qualified. But most of the time, you're not. Somebody else is.
Ew.
No, that's what I'm saying though. It's like. That's why I just don't need reviews.
and from a business point of
Also-
view, like if you do have somebody that is going above and beyond and they're at that pay rate, why would you change that?
the only reason too why I don't agree with, I see what you're saying. So I'm not saying that you're completely wrong, but I feel like there is certain situations where that's not true because certain jobs give you a pay raise based on your performance. So you can get a 2 to 5% pay raise, right? So if this person is doing shitty and has the same job, not shitty, doing the bare minimum or whatever the case is, or just doing like a mediocre job, and I'm doing a really, really good job, you might give that person a 2% pay raise. You might give me a 3. So there is a little bit of a difference.
Not really, because I know that I get bad reviews.
But I'm saying from experience.
No,
so-
I'm telling you, I know that I get bad reviews, but my efficiency and my my accuracy in the job that I do is above other people's. So I got a higher raise than my coworkers that got good reviews.
I get you.
So it is performance based. Now, if there's a tie, if we have exactly,
But the reviews help is the point.
But the thing is that
as a tiebreaker,
It doesn't make or break. Exactly.
Only as a
it's still-
tiebreaker.
It doesn't
Yeah.
make or break you, but it helps.
but I'm still destroying them in all other aspects.
this might
so
be
it
a
doesn't
totally
make it
different
fair.
like topic, but like when people say I go above and beyond,
You're supposed to.
it's not you're not supposed to. Like I'm not getting paid to do above and beyond.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like for me, I'm not killing myself to help you when I don't necessarily have to. I'm not getting paid for that. So let's say like
and that's why you're not the person they say went above and beyond.
well, no, they say that all the time, but I never do. I just stay within my level. But like for instance, I work at this place where I install parts into cars, right? But they also rent out trucks. I always get asked, why am I not helping
trucks.
clean and repair the trucks? That's not my job.
Yeah.
I don't get paid for that. And they're like, yeah, but you're sitting here the whole time, and because you have nothing to do. I go, that's because I was efficient at my job.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get penalized for my efficiency to have to do extra work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Like there's a task that we're supposed to do monthly for my current job, and I do it on time.
Yeah.
But I do have the efficiency and the time available to finish it early. But I know if I finish it early, they're going to give me more tasks to do,
Yeah.
or they're going to raise my quota because they know that I can hit it. But it's like, okay, well, I do my job the best that I can possibly think that I can do it. You know, I'm sure there's better people, and I know I'm not perfect, but I do it. I would say that I do it very well. I'm prepared to do that all the time, but that's also because I don't do these what's the word, menial tasks, and I don't fill my day with that, so that when I do have to do my important job, I'm already ready already. So yeah, I feel you on that. I don't go above and beyond. I just do my job really
Like the
well.
last hospital had to have an internal review, like an internal way of people basically like giving you your own
Yeah.
Yelp review or whatever. That was better because now it's with people that
Within
you-
your peers, yeah.
Because they're like I agree with you. Like you can't help, right?
Right.
But then there are some people that are just plain old fucking suck ups.
Yeah,
they
that's
look
true.
good on reviews, but they suck.
Their performance sucks.
Their
Yeah.
performance
Yes.
just sucks.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But that's why I say like whenever I'm looking at reviews, I don't really look at it like that's a good way to give you a raise. I'm gonna look at way beyond your reviews.
Off topic. Have you ever asked for a raise before?
I don't think I've asked for
Have you ever asked for a raise?
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah. You have?
Yeah.
How do you do it?
I pull up metrics. I go, this is what I did this year, numbers wise, and compared to how it was last year, I've earned $200,000 more for the company. Yet I haven't seen a bump in my pay. So either I get compensated, or I will actively start looking at other places to go.
Interesting.
That, and I've also, like currently in my job, I tell them a lead was doing this position because you have no one else to do it. You asked me to do it, and because pulling the metrics too, this is how much has changed within our department. So either I get a raise or I go somewhere else.
So is there like how you did the review for that particular thing? Is there a way that you can put that towards like say internally, like within your boss or something like that? Like this is kind of going along the lines of how to ask for a raise.
Like a review?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I
Like-
just walk up directly. I just show them, I pull up the sheet. Like,
Okay.
Good for me because I'm the only guy that does my job at my work. So it's all me.
Yeah.
So I can just pull up that data and say, hey man, we gotta
Yeah.
start talking because if you guys are saying that you want this to be a career position,
Yeah.
at that pay it's not. And I'm only getting, let's say 15% of the revenue. It doesn't make sense to me either.
Yeah.
It's a good question because I'm not good at asking for raises either.
Yeah. The only way
I
that
wait
I've
for
ever
the review to come, and then they tell me what my raise is.
And
No, but you could pull yours, like how many people you talk to, how many, like.
Well,
Yeah.
the way that I've done it, and it actually kind of worked. I just wanted to know if there's other ways that I could do it as well that would be more efficient. But I know when like a raise or a review would come, and I would ask them, "Hey, I'm looking at doing, I'm looking at either getting another job or trying to make more money here. This is the amount of money that I would like to make. what is it that you would see me doing to earn this much money? And if I hit that metric, would we be able to discuss my raise or reflecting that?
And well, and go ahead.
So, no, I was gonna say sometimes. A lot of times, though, people you don't realize, or people don't know, or they don't look at it this way. The raise that you're getting is for your past performance, not for. This isn't the NFL where I'm paying you extra, hoping that you're gonna produce for me in the future. Mm-hmm. As a company, I'm getting paid for what I already did. That's why I'm always like, what are you talking about when my boss goes, oh, so I'm going to give you a raise, but I'm looking forward for greater things from you going forward. I go, well, then you have to pay me more.
Well, no, that's not a raise then. That's a promotion.
No,
because then you're giving me more duties.
But a promotion comes with a raise.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no, but again, that's why I always say, like, I'm not going to do above and beyond without the necessary pay to be above and beyond.
So don't be above and beyond unless they pay you for it first, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, and then
I mean, don't be fucking
lazy piece of shit.
Lazy piece of shit at your job too. Do the best you can, but I'm just saying, don't kill yourself.
No, that's actually a good point because I had a couple. One of my bestest friends, she learned that because she's like a overachiever, right? She fucking stays late hours, gets there early, takes her work home, hasn't fucking gotten a raise, And she ended up getting let go from that job, no matter how good she was doing, because they didn't want to pay her, and they ended up hiring someone that was like fresh and they could pay less, And the lesson that she got from that, which is kind of what you're saying, is she's like, I don't know why the fuck I killed myself for this job when it wasn't going to make a difference anyways, So that's a good point.
You're just a number to these jobs. You're just a number,
and a small number too.
Always replaceable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I could say, hey, I'm just gonna. I'll quit tomorrow, and then you'll go like maybe a month or two without revenue, and then they'll hire somebody else.
Yeah.
And then you'll be forgotten. So
yeah,
that part.
And that's one of the things that she messed up on, right? She thought that she was essential to the company because of the amount of work that she would put in, and then later to find out like, no, I really was just fucking replaceable. Well, I could have taken those vacations. I could have not taken the fucking work home, and I would have not killed myself.
Nobody else was doing it because you were taking it home.
Right.
But now that you're not there, everybody else is doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So somebody on the other goes, oh, I got to do that now? Okay, I've been doing it for years before she came.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So be hard workers, but don't kill yourself, guys.
That part.
Well, just work smart, not hard.
That part.
Yeah.
And reeling it back in, reviews don't matter.
It made a difference for me though.
Yeah, exactly.
He woke the fuck up. That's what he did.
Reviews sometimes, when they're good, they do kind of rejuvenate your your drive at the company.
Yeah.
You read them and you're like, oh fuck, I guess I'm doing a good job, so I'll keep going. It's a good way to mentally stimulate you back again until you see your boss.
Yeah.
Or wake the fuck up.
Yeah, if it's bad, it'll make you wake up.
up.
Yeah.
Most people look at that and be like, I'm fucking make every excuse known to man why that review is negative.
Well, we'll see in a couple of weeks. Maybe I might update you guys in the comments.
Well, I do look at product reviews though.
Yeah.
Oh, I do that too, like on Amazon and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed our little
discussion.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments if you guys experienced something close to this or something like this.
Tell us your crazy experience as a consumer or as someone that runs a business.
Yep.
If you had any crazy consumers.
But until then, we will see you guys on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
We should go over the BUplifted reviews in the comments.
I haven't even seen any of the comments.
They're mostly from you.
Oh yeah, well I've seen those.